How about this? I think we figured it out. Bring that up just a little bit. Test. Yeah, can we hear? Yeah. Oh. Welcome. What do you think of the? What do you guys think? What do you think? How do you like the place? Did I show you guys this one before or no? Hey, what's up? Hey, homie, your stream so really well. I do see you streaming a lot, but yet still not affiliated and partnered. No, thank you. Over on Kick. Dad bods and drop shots, and we're live. Yes, finally, with audio. Yeah, audio's good. Did you turn it off and turn it back on? Yeah, I tried. Actually, that's part of the problem. My stream PC was restarted. Every time I do that, for some reason, my audio gets all jacked up in Streamlabs. So then I have to spend, if I don't catch it before the stream, then I have to spend, 5 minutes figuring it out on the stream. Love the intro music. Thank you, Oysterhead. Thank you. But today, hey, can we get the background? Flip it over. No, of the table. No, I said the table. I'd just like to see the table, that's all. Thank you. Was that hard? There we go. The table. And my hand is behind. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, we're here to build the Titan #2 after all the issues that we had with Aaron's PC. I don't know if anybody caught that video on YouTube, but I did drop another a video on YouTube kind of updating the situation on that build. That build, on top of a whole bunch of other support requests. So here's a recap of since Thursday. So since Thursday, we battle tested Aaron's rig. We got it basically ready to go, and then all of a sudden it decided to start shutting down. Randomly. Hey, let's shut down. So I was like, okay, first of all, I don't know if anybody caught the video on YouTube yet or not, but that's where it's really updated, all the details. We replaced pretty much everything in the PC except for the CPU. So we're down to the last part, which is the CPU. That's coming tomorrow. So hopefully we will have an answer to this problem. And I'm 99.9. No, wait, I said on the video, 100% confident it is the CPU at this point. I don't know what else it could be. Powering off randomly, 7950X 3D. That's 500 what? $580 CPU, just saying screw you. But hey, we're gonna go round 2 here. We got one right here, 7950 XT we're gonna build with, brand new. I would have just thrown this in Aaron's rig, but I did have to build this for this local customer who has been patiently waiting for their build as well, because I've been just totally backed up with not only the AMD problem on this build, but I had multiple customers contact me all at the same time about their Intel problems. One customer It was badass. If you guys remember the Phoenix build, the big red Phoenix build I did with the custom paint in the big Corsair case, I think it was the 7000D. You remember that custom paint job build that I did back then? About maybe a year ago. He had an Intel i9. I think it was a 13900K at the time. Well, guess what? Intel came back to haunt me, and it failed. So he ended up flipping over to AMD. Hey, what's up, Kyle? How's it going? He ended up flipping over to AMD with the 7950X 3D as well, and a MSI X670 Ace motherboard and some really good AMD Expo certified RAM. So I was over there doing that yesterday. So hence the reason why I couldn't stream yesterday. Or was that the day before? I can't even remember. And then other problems, I was working with customers remotely, trying to help them with similar issues, getting their BIOS up to date, and to see if that solves any problems, if any. Yeah. Fantastic. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. It's good to hear. Good to hear you're doing good. But yeah, so we've just been plagued with Intel issues, and then now this new AMD issue, which I'm freaking out about. It's like, okay, I've been telling everybody to go AMD, and now I'm running into an AMD issue myself. What do I do? Do I just tell everybody, hey, don't buy a CPU? Is that what I do? Hold on. This is going to be funny, guys. My daughter's phone is over here. She left it over here. Mom's calling. Hello. Hello. Oh, is Adrian looking for her phone? Ah, she left it over here by me. Oh, she wants her phone. Okay. Go ARM. Yeah. Yeah, it was right there. Go ARM. She was demanding her phone at that point. Love to hear that. I just updated my BIOS 2 days ago after I got the PC set back up in the office. Nice. Yeah, so anybody that has an Intel CPU, the first thing you should be doing right now is taking a look at your motherboard manufacturer support page and seeing if there is a BIOS update for your Intel motherboard. Especially if it's a 14900K. Hey, what's up, Alex Briggs? What's up? How's it going? What's up with the Intel and AMD? I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. Don't buy a CPU. That's basically where I'm at right now. I keep telling people, hey, go AMD because Intel's having problems, and here I am having problems with AMD. I don't know what to do now. What do I do? There's nobody else out there. Maybe ASRock can jump in and make a CPU for us. How do you get that background? Ant-Man, I created it. So I spent some time punching out some holes in the wall, like over that way, or over that way, and behind me. It's actually, this is just a transparent hole in the background, and then I have the camera placed behind it, so it just fills it in. But I could switch that by just simply, hey, let's hide the camera. Now I have my build show coolness happening. Look at that. Super cool. I guess the i5s are okay. Hold on. I still haven't tested Destiny 2 out to see if the issue I was having is resolved. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the BIOS, definitely do that BIOS update and then test it. Especially if it was an August release, because they were releasing a lot of the August updates to fix a lot of those problems with Intel. So just, if it's an August release, most likely it has a fix. Hopefully. And hopefully your CPU isn't far enough gone that it's resolved and good to go. Because the other one I had that I just swapped out over to AMD for another local customer over here, we just swapped him over to AMD because the CPU was just shot. There was no saving it. I guess the i5s are okay. Yes. i5s are good, i7s are good. I believe for the most part, it's the i9 14900K and the 13900K that mostly have the problem. Really? Yes, Ant-Man. Yes. I just made the background. This is just one big photo across the screen, and then you just get a little cheeky with your camera placement. And then you also, if you cut out part of the background and make it transparent, you can add different overlays and videos within Streamlabs or OBS. It does add a little bit of CPU power to do this on your PC, so your stream PC is definitely going to take a hit. I think mine's pegged at like 85% right now usage, just running Streamlabs. My issue was I would drop to 1 frame rate. Oh yeah, that's right, you told me about that. For a split second. Other than that, I hadn't used my computer too much before. It got parked for the summer. Yeah. Are i5s and AM4 still relevant for new PC builders? So, when you say i5, you could be referencing the latest i5, which is a i5 14600K, or you could be referencing an i5 from 15 years ago. So more so is an i5 from what generation of Intel lineup are you talking about? An AM4, that could on a 12th gen i5. Yeah, 12th gen i5 is definitely still relevant, although it is going to be on a dead socket. Go back to the AMD 5X series, I guess. Yeah, pretty much. Let's just roll it back, but it's not that easy when you're spending money on parts. Let's just roll it back. That's it, we're done. We're going back to AM4, the 5950X. I think they made a 3D version of one of those, right? But, yeah, no, seriously, go back to the 500 series. So, yeah, the 5800X 3D is still a beast, 100%. I 100% agree with that. Great processor. So, I would actually, Ant-Man, tell you to go to a 5800X 3D, just like Oyster said over here on Twitch. 5800X 3D, which is on the AM4 platform, is still a great processor if you're considering AM4. Or you can go all the way up to like a 7800X 3D, but that means a different motherboard because of the AM5, and then also a different RAM because it's DDR5. So just be sure you're checking that as well. But the 5800X 3D can work on the B550 or X570, which is all AM4. So all of that'll work on the AM4 platform, or the 5800X 3D will work on all of those. Great processor still, this day. All right, guys. So, what are we doing today? Well, we're building another Titan. This one is for a local customer who is really into esports and is trying to achieve basically nothing less than 240 frames per second, I believe in 1440p, and anything less is going to be thrown out the window. So, that is what we are building today, is another Titan. So let's have a look. I know I'm kind of blocking some of this, but I thought we'd change it up a little bit. Get a different, you know. How often should you update your BIOS? So if your PC is running fine, you really don't have to update the BIOS. Maybe checking it every 6 months or so, see if as long as everything's running good. Check it every 6 months or so, see if there's any major updates for performance, etc. You know, just keep an eye on it, on the BIOS releases, and see if there's something important you should do an update for. Outside of that, anytime you are adding new hardware to your computer, especially CPUs or RAM, you should always try to update your BIOS before you add that hardware. That's usually a best practice. Coolers, graphics cards, not really a problem, but when it's CPU or it's RAM, definitely update the BIOS first. Oysterhead. The 7800 X3D might be faster than the 7950 X3D for gaming. Yes and no, but in this case, he has to actually stream. So I believe he's recording as he's playing because he plays at a very high competitive level, I believe. So he wanted the extra cores. I mean, you really can't get any better than this unless you go to Threadripper. And even then, Threadripper is just stupid for gaming. It's not really needed. And I still believe, like you're saying, the 7800 X3D is probably still better. Makes sense for the extra threads, yeah. He needs them. Army Vet, good evening. How's it going, man? How's the up north? The up UP. So, all right, let's go ahead and run through the build list here. Tonight, this is the Titan XL. It's not in the traditional Evo 011 Dynamic Evo case. We're going to be building in the Evo XL. So it is a larger case. We have 140 millimeter fans instead of 120. And we also have a 420 millimeter AIO instead of a 360, which we are going to be putting on the top. So starting off, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 7950 X3D, which has got the 16 cores, 32 threads, and a 5.7 gigahertz max boost. Next up is we have a Thermalright contact frame for the CPU. This is not necessary for AM5, although I recommend it simply because it keeps the thermal paste out of the side of the CPU. Try to say that 5 times fast. So it helps just keep it clean. And then also when shipping, there's no way that CPU is moving. So for me, my purpose, it helps. Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut Extreme is the thermal paste we'll be using today for the CPU. And then also, if we look over at the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3, it is a 420 millimeter, 420, everybody's favorite, sized millimeter AIO radiator. It's a great cooler. We are going to try to do keep the stock fans and put them on the top, and then we do have 3 of the Unifan SL Infinity 140s to go over on the bottom side where the RGB is. So, who is the Threadripper for? Threadripper would be more for somebody that is in production. So if you're 3D modeling or creating a lot of high resolution videos, the Threadripper will help with that render speed. Definitely. Ah, you got a deer with the car Friday night. Ugh. I'm sorry, man. How many is that now? I guess it's supposed to be net. Yeah, I think we're supposed to have rain down here too. Makes sense for the extra threads. Yeah, makes sense for the extra threads. Do bigger fans make a difference? Yes, it does. Bigger fans will move more airflow. More air. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Army Vet. 2,500 in damage to the driver door and front quarter panel. How many deer is that now? I know you and I had a tally, I think, kind of going there. I'm at like 7 total. Let me turn this down though. So I've got speakers over here that I can monitor the music with because I'm not wearing any headsets. So I need to hear the notifications and the music, and helps me kind of know everything's working. But it was too loud. All right. 3 in the last 8 years. Wow. I think I've hit more deer than you down here. I've got, funny enough, bought a brand new car and hit a deer. Not even, I think it was within the first month. So the sad thing was it had like 600 miles on the car total within the first month because I drove it everywhere. I was a kid. And it was brand new. And that was my first brand new car. And I hit a deer. Go figure. And then I hit another deer with that car, another 2 deer with that car, and actually one of those deer actually hit me. I was parked letting the does go by, and then all of a sudden this buck came up and ran into the side of my door. And I was like, bruh, unnecessary. Where's the yellow flag for unnecessary roughness? So I've probably paid for like 3 cars now in repairs because of deer. There's just so much. It's just stupid. We need to get rid of them. I don't know what benefit they are to the planet. Outside of what I do know is that they damage my car. I haven't hit one in a long time, and I better knock on some wood. But I'm not driving as late as I used to when I was a kid. Back on that streak. Yeah, back on that streak. They taste so good. You know, that's what they're good for. Maybe. What are my PC specs? Oh boy. At the end of the stream, you will see my PC specs in the credits, but a simple, quick run through is just a Ryzen 7 5700X with 32 gigs of RAM right now, because I stole 2 sticks for something else, testing, and I haven't put them back in. I've got, I think, 8 terabytes of which is multiple SSDs in there. RTX 3070 Ti, and I think it was an ASRock B550, which I hate. I hate that motherboard. It's the Steel Legend, the ASRock B550 Steel Legend. I hate that particular board, that exact board by ASRock. It just does really weird stuff. Like, my audio will turn into a robot randomly. Or some of my USB cameras will just go out just randomly. So I think I just have the board. I have too much on the board. I'm running it hard. So that's definitely part of the problem. Outside of that, I've got I think a 1000 watt power supply in there because I did plan on upgrading the graphics card at some point, but didn't. And it's a 240 millimeter AIO in a Lian Li 215, USB-C 215. So a little bit older Lian Li case, starting to age. I've actually let it get really dusty because I'm supposed to make a YouTube video on this and I haven't done it. So anybody that's coming in here and looking at my PC and be like, "Ooh, brother, why? Ooh, brother," is respectfully so. The reason why is because I'm trying to make a YouTube video on how to clean your PC, so I let mine go really bad because it's part of the video. Another monster build, some giant idiot. Yes, another monster build. Even the 420s here with us. The corner down there. Okay, let me. Nope, other shoulders. It's so backwards. Right there. So that's what's in my PC, Alex, over on YouTube. Okay, outside of the cooler, I think as far as we got, we have the Asus X670E ROG Strix motherboard, gaming Wi-Fi. It's the same motherboard as the last build we did last week. This is almost the same build. We are going vertical with the graphics card using the Cooler Master vertical universal V3, which is going to put this RTX 4090 in vertical. We also have 140 fans, 140 millimeter fans, and 420 millimeter AIO. So that's bigger. Storage is different. We have two 2 terabyte 990 Pros instead of the 980s. I have 990s. And then, of course, we have the streamers and 64 gigs of DDR5, 6000 megahertz CL30. And this is the G.Skill Trident Z5 Neo RGB. Outside of that, the Seasonic power supply, which I could not even fit on the table, is the Vertex GX 1200. So that's 1200 watt, 80 plus gold power supply. I did open the box up because I borrowed the power supply to test that other rig, which ended up not even being the power supply. We know it's the CPU for sure. So, Ant-Man, what is a good full tower case with Blu-ray drive bays to build for noobs? Full tower case. I think your best option is to track down a old school tower. You'll probably have to buy it used because I don't think you're going to find a new tower that at least I'm aware of that will allow you to have Blu-ray drive bays. I don't know that there's one that exists anymore. It's such an older technology that, and the cases are so modern They've just eliminated that completely. So if anybody else knows of a case that's still available online that will allow multiple Blu-ray drives on the front, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Because I am kind of curious. But outside of that, I think like looking for an old school tower. Sorry, my neck's sore. What do you think is the best graphics card for gaming in terms of the 1080p and 1440p? 1080p, probably the RTX. I mean, for 1080p, you can pretty much play anything. I think to better justify your question is add an FPS or a monitor hertz that you want to target, because then you can kind of better gauge that. But for 1080p, an RX 6600 or an RTX 3060 is perfectly fine. You'll have smooth gameplay. It'll be better than the console, but it won't be, 240 frames per second. 1440p, you probably want to get up to at least an RTX 3070 or a 4070, or in the AMD family, you probably want to go up to like a an RX 6700 XT or 7700 XT or better. And that'll get you some pretty smooth frames with 1440p, plus the addition of FSR for AMD and the DLSS for NVIDIA. Ant-Man TV, some giant idiot. You can always get a used full tower on eBay. Exactly. That's what I was saying. I think you just have to shop around and find a used tower at that point. Most of everything else will fit in there, minus your coolers. Your AIOs probably won't fit very well in some of them. I know NZXT had a really nice tower that could support a like 240 millimeter AIO at the top. That might be an option still. My brother actually has one. I gave it to him. But it was like the flagship NZXT tower. It was in white and red. It was super slick looking. I really liked that tower. But it had, I think, 4 bays on the front, 4 or 5. So that's a really good tower. For the airflow, it had really good airflow too, if I remember. Had a couple of fans on it that came with it. My old CM half, Cooler Master half, yeah. Those were the best. Won't fit bigger than it won't fit bigger AIOs than 240. Yeah, most older cases that started supporting radiators, everything was like 240 millimeters. That was like the standard. And it was rare to find something that would fit like a 360. And if you did, it was a super expensive case. There's not like, you're not going to find many of those floating around used, because there just weren't many that were sold. And if they were, the nerd that bought it probably still has it in their basement. I'm gonna dig it out and have some fun with it when I have time. Yeah, send some pictures. Drop it in the Discord. What were your first PC specs? Oh boy, I think I've been asked that question like 500 times on the stream. So my first PC specs, it was it socket A? Or it was socket 7, I think. It wasn't 462, it was 7. I think it was socket 7. And I could be wrong. Maybe my memory's failing me already. 462 was the next socket up from there. But I think it was socket 7, and it was I can't remember. It was some sort of Athlon AMD. I think it was AMD. I can't remember. It's been so long. It's been like 20 years. But I was like 13 when I got the parts from my uncle. They were used, his old PC, and he took everything apart, gave me the box of parts, and gave me a book that had nothing to do with that PC. So it wasn't like a step-by-step instruction. It was just about PCs. And then I used that to build the PC, got most of it assembled, and then was stuck with installing Windows. And back then it was Windows 98. Well, hello there. 1 second. And we're back. I cannot deny the Little Miss. Little Miss freeloader. No, that's not the... That one's not the freeloader yet. Where was I? 32 megs of RAM on my first system, and I think it was like a 150 watt power supply and a GeForce 256 32 meg graphics card. Megabytes, not gigabytes. Megabytes for the RAM, 32, or no, I had 128 megabytes of RAM total, and 32 megabytes on the VRAM with the GeForce 256. And that was a PCIe, or a PCI bus, which, by the way, back then that was the shit. Before AGP. So that was my adorable. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Flame? Flaming Ox Rage. Welcome to the build show, sir. I see it's your first time dropping in. We're just getting chatty over here, and then we're gonna start this build. So if you want to hang out, see how this build turns out. I will say this is probably gonna be about a 3-hour to 4-hour process to get through this build. So we're going late. We are going late tonight. And then I do, if I have time or if I'm not completely exhausted, I'm going to try to squeeze in a ITX build in a Thermaltake, the Tower 300. That was brought to me to finish, or to build. So, anyway, Alex, I hope that answered your question about what were my first PC specs compared to what we have today. It was slow. Windows 98 was the operating system as well. Good old Windows 98. All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Finally. We don't need half of this in front of us, so we're going to get rid of half of this. Wow, I know. That was back in the day. Way back in the day. I know, I'm old. I have a lot of history here. I've been building PCs for a long time. And for some reason, I don't know why, I still love doing it. I've just gotten really good at it. What is anti-static? So anti-static, I think you're referencing, is this bag right here is an anti-static bag. What this does is it collects static on the outside of the bag and keeps it from the inside of the bag, keeping the parts that are inside the bag safe. So you should never put, even though I was putting the graphics card on there, but it has a big chunk of metal over it. It's not touching the board, but you should never put a direct electronic, such as the back of a motherboard, onto a anti-static bag. So, although, Linus Tech Tips had a really good video on static, and does it still present a problem? It takes a significant amount of static electricity to really do any damage. So, are you going to damage it? Not likely. It would take a lot. It was more sensitive back in the day when the parts were more sensitive. They're less sensitive now. They're less... It's less of a problem, though. What? I just found a mine hole there. It's smooth. It smooths out gameplay. Wait. What is anti... Oh, I thought you said anti-static. Anti-aliasing. Sorry, I read it wrong. Because I'm old. And that's what happens when you get old. Anti-aliasing will smooth out the edges of 3D models or the 3D environment. So if you look closely at 3D models, you'll see jagged edges on things. The anti-aliasing makes it a smooth edge. So just like some giant idiot said. Exactly what he said. It just makes everything smoother. But it does take a hit on your graphics card to do that. Ah, board that's far too familiar. I'm gonna move it over here, and then we'll zoom in. Actually, we could stay right here, right? We're fine there. I think we're okay. I'm just worried we're gonna zoom in, and then I'll be too big, and it'll get awkward. Ha, look at me, I'm so small. I'm almost same size as this motherboard. Oh, wait. Oh, I have to go over to the left to go right. It's so backwards. Or I can use magic. Get over there, Ben. God, I love ChatGPT. I copy and pasted it. You can reliably fix bits. I have the ASRock Taichi X670. Great board. Yes, that ASRock board is great. I love that one. That is a good board. That's basically their flagship board, right? The Taichi. Am I saying it right? Taichi. Taichi. All right, so hopefully not broken Ryzen 9 7900 or 7950X 3D is going into the socket. Yes, MSI has the godlike. And then the one behind that would be the Ace. And then another step down would be the Pro Carbon, or the Carbon now. Used to be called the Pro Carbon. There we go. Now what we are going to do is we're going to remove the LGA contact frame that came with it. And we're going to put a Thermalright contact frame on here. And then from the Pro Carbon, you have the Edge, Gaming Edge, or used to be the Edge, it might just be the Gaming something. And from there, I think you go down to the Pro Series. Oh no, the Tomahawk. Yeah, or the Bazooka. So we do put the CPU into the socket here to protect the pins while we're making these happen. And mostly because we don't want to bend a pin by accidentally dropping something in that socket. That is a very, very expensive mess up. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to drop the contact frame here over the CPU, and then drop each of these screws that come with the contact frame into the respected holes. And I'll catch up on the YouTube chat here in just a moment. I need my eyeballs on this. Okay. That'll do. Next up, we're going to drop some RAM and then SSDs in here. And then we'll get the mounting hardware for the AIO. So the RAM that we're going to be running is the G.Skill Trident Z5 Neo, which is the AMD Expo certified kit. And then it is the 64 gig kit. There's two 32 gig sticks in here. They're at 6,000 megahertz CL30, 1.4 volts, if you care about the voltage. Really, only major enthusiasts probably really even care about the voltage. People that plan on overclocking the crap out of it. Should an RTX 4060 be able to run all high settings in Minecraft with shaders and anti-aliasing? Or maybe at super low resolution like 720p? Does FOV increase FPS? No. That increases your field of view. That is why it's FOV, field of view. If anything, it might decrease your frames per second. All those sticks with authority. So increasing your FOV, you might lose FPS. Next up is we have two 2 terabyte 990 Pros to install. And just like the previous build, we're going to put one here in the top and then another one here at the bottom, which you can't see, but one here at the top and one here at the bottom, probably right there. I'll put the SSDs to hover over my head. Hey guys, look. I'm an SSD head. If I read increase, I'm sorry. It is definitely decrease. Yeah, I don't think it'll like terribly decrease it. I think it might have a small impact because there's more stuff on the screen to render. That's just my theory. Definitely. Does FXAA increase FPS? No. I don't think so. Isn't that a form of anti-listing? Some giant idiot. FXAA. Okay, back to actually adding the board. To peel all of these thermal pad peels off. Maybe. Right, there's one. Doing that. And then we're going to put the first one up here in the top slot. Then reinstall heat spreader over the top of it. And always peel all your peels. Because one day you're going to be sitting there sniffing the air being, what is that smell? Okay. Nothing in there. Oxford. Okay. Ant-Man, how can EA games suck ass on PC? Their launcher won't start games. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really. I don't know how to answer that question because I've never, like, early on EA was cool, but that was like in the beginning. And then as time went on, EA turned into this money feeding, like, just flood from Halo. They just fed on everything. They're like, ooh, buddy, anything for buddy. You want to give us buddy? Give us buddy. We want buddy. They just turned into this big money sponge. And now half their crap doesn't work. I don't know. EA sucks. I've never liked their Origin crap and all that. It's just been too clunky, too bleh, too annoying to open up and, like, try to navigate. You know, something as simple as Steam. You open up Steam, you click library, and there's all your games right there. Bam, simple. And it doesn't cost half a CPU to run it. Easy. Yes. It didn't it didn't always used to be like that. I wonder what happened to actually change that, Ant-Man. What I love about PC is you can always get refunds. Consoles, you can't. I don't know. Something happened, because before I don't think you could, unless you took it back to the store you purchased it from. And this is back in like the DVD, CD era, before it was downloadable content. DC, or back when we had legit product keys that we purchased. You know, that kind of crazy stuff. Nobody... does anybody here even remember that? I mean, some giant idiot might, but Army vet might. Having to go out and buy a CD or a DVD with a key code, and then find out somebody opened it up and stole your key code. Something stupid like that. Is the GTX 1080 Ti still good? I switched to PC last year. Nice. The GTX 1080 Ti is still a good card, yes. But I think your 4060 would beat that. I remember. I remember. If anybody knows South Park. I remember the member berries. Do you remember the member berries? Yeah, I remember that too. Quite the time. All right, I'm gonna open up the cooler over here because I get the fun. Yeah. I'm gonna open up the cooler over here off screen. Massive. Huge. You know, Arctic should just stop shipping these with their coolers. This is the Intel bracket. I know I'm terrible for saying that. But Arctic, if you want to save a few bucks, just stop shipping these. Sell them separately if you have to. Guys, Intel has put me in a really bad mood against them lately. I have not been satisfied with their product. I'm sorry. A sour taste in the mouth. All right, so we're going to do the contact or the brackets for the cooler. So we're just going to remove the stock brackets. We are going to use the back plate that is included with the motherboard, but we are removing the plastic brackets that are included because we have to use the Arctic brackets specifically for the offset, the AMD offset mounting. And actually, Alex, this is a similar cooler. This is the bigger version of the one that I told you to get. Hey, Kenneth, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. Here's hoping the 15th gen from Intel later this year is good. Yeah, if they don't push it back because they're so busy firing people right now, or laying people off. They even pushed their event back. Whatever their stupid Intel event was that I would never go to. So I bet this is just me in my opinion, but my assumption or my opinion is that Intel is probably going to delay the release because AMD has already got the upper hand. AMD laid out their cards already and they're not great for the 9000 series. Not the greatest results as of right now. So Intel's like, okay, we can take our time and get it right, and I'd rather them do that, take the time and get it right, which is what we were asking them to do with the 14th and 13th gen, which they didn't do, and now we have all these wonderful problems with Intel. Right? So, take the time, Intel, take the time, get it right. What I do here, take the time, get it right. It sucks. I hate it. But sometimes you just have to do it to get it right. Westfield, I'm sorry, but I missed it. What motherboard is that? It looks nice. This is the Asus ROG Strix X670E-E gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. This board. It's a great board. And the CPU is a Ryzen 9 7950X3D. And we've got 64 gigs of DDR5, 6000 megahertz CL30, which is G.Skill Trident Z5 Neo, which is AMD Expo certified RAM. And then we have two Samsung 990 Pro SSDs, 2 terabytes each, so a total of 4 terabyte. Two separate drives, one's boot, one's for games and applications dedicated. And then we're going to be doing putting that all into a O11 Dynamic Evo XL case, followed by a Arctic Liquid Freezer 3, which has, you know, this is the mounting brackets I'm putting in there right now. And then we're going to be doing a RTX 4090. Get it? Or that. Oh. We're going to do an RTX 4090 with all Lian Li SL Infinity fans, 140 millimeters across the build, except for the rear fan, which is going to be 120, along with a 1200 watt 80 plus gold power supply and Lian Li streamers for the cables. It's going to be a very fancy build. We are going vertical with the card as well. So vertical for the card. Okay, brackets are on. We're ready to throw this in the case. Where's the case? Minutes in Warehouse 3. I'll be right back, guys. All right. So this is the O11 Dynamic Evo XL. It probably won't even fit in the camera frame. A lot of work. It's heavy. FYI. It's massive. Well, there's the top of it. which, by the way, we need to remove anyway. All right, so if you're removing the glass on this case, you will have this little screw here to remove, and then it should be, I think, pretty much toolless. Just pull it. Just to pull it. Okay. Whew. Looking forward to the rest of the build. Yeah. Hang out. We're going to be finishing it tonight. I hope. Do you know if you posted building my PC? Alex, I'm pretty sure I would have. But that was a long time ago, too. What year was that? I'll try to look it up. But I'm pretty sure I did. Although, that might have been the year where I was just overwhelmed to the point where I had to do a lot of builds off stream. It was like 2023. It could have been off stream. It's possible. Oh. Okay. Nice. Pretty cool. All right, so this is the Evo XL. It is massive. It's a beast. I hope it fits on the camera screen here. Holy shit, it does. Except for we need to... Hey, there's my feet. Need to do a little bit of that. Yeah, there we go. I think we're back. Good? Yeah, everybody can see? Cool. So what we're going to do is drop the motherboard in here. Lots of room to work in this case because it is the Evo XL. It is massive. So we're going to drop our board in here nice and gently. Get our hardware for the case. Which comes in this very nice tackle box. Leanne Lee gives us a nice tackle box. Thank you, Leanne Lee. I appreciate it. So 2 years ago, 2022. Oh, yeah. Definitely over 2 years ago. It's 2022. But yeah, that would have been, it's very possible that I did not stream then. Hey Ben, how much would you charge for 2 more fans at the bottom of my build? So if you needed me to add fans, it would just be whatever the cost of fans are. Probably would take 15 minutes to put them in if you brought it by. I won't charge for the labor to put 2 little fans in for 15 minutes. That's me saying thank you. For whatever the cost of the fans are. So you're just paying for the fans. 9 screws to rule them all. $100 million. Thank you, some giant idiot, for that accurate quote. US dollars to be. And I want it in dollar bills. Nothing bigger. You know what? Make it in pennies. It'll make it harder for me to spend it. Some giant idiot's getting cheeky over here. Yeah, I say it's going to only take me like 15 minutes to put it in. That sounded terrible. 15 minutes to install 2 fans. It'll probably end up taking like an hour and a half. Knowing me. I'll be in there and I'll be like, who the hell built this thing? It's me. I built it. If you guys understand the joke there. All right. There we have it. I think. Have it. Do we have it? We have it. Now let's go ahead and stand this bad boy up. Get our EPS cables in and some of our AIO cables plugged in. We'll get our front panel connectors in, and then we will tackle our AIO next. So this fan, or this AIO, has a single connection, which splits off to a fan, a pump, and then a VRM fan header. You can control all 3 from the motherboard if you wanted to, but there is a VRM fan. This one, the fan goes to CPU fan, pump goes to pump, and then your VRM fan goes to CPU. I always just put it on CPU opt. That is what I do. That. Prep it, stuck back there. Kind of in a fancy man diet here. That. Now we'll get the EPS cables out. Wait a minute. I remember doing that once with a Cronus in the middle of school. Good times. What is that? 100 million in pennies would be so funny to play with. Yeah, I'd swim in them, for sure. There's 100 million pennies, I'd swim in the pennies. Nope. 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 Yep. 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 Don't care. At least not yet. Dude. Hey. Hi. It's there. What the hell? I forgot there's a hard drive cage immediately on the back of that. He's just jealous. The hard drive case is just jealous. Go. There we go. Fancy ETS cables installed from the Seasonic power supply. Fancy. Now let's get our front panel connectors. We got USB 3, USB-C, and everything else is on the bottom for the most part. Hello there. We have these hot swap connections. Should I even plug those in? Should I plug all these SATAs in? Easy. Damn it, I should. Not that they're going to be used, but it's the right thing to do. Glad we picked the board with no. We didn't. Whoops. Why does graphics on my PC look grainy? It might be because what size screen do you have? And then what screen resolution are you running? I think I have a USB 3.0 splitter split. At least get the connection to happen. Let me check. Or I have a 2.0 to 3.0. It just means two of the USB 3.0 ports on the front panel are going to be 2.0, not. So, how it goes. welcome. 24-inch 1080p, 240 hertz. So I don't know why it would be grainy. 24 inch is small for 1080p, or smallish, or a good size for 1080p, should I say. It's not like it's stretched. Grainy sounds like it would be a filter. I would start looking at that GeForce Experience filter that you mentioned while we were on the phone. Start looking at that. Hold on. So I know I'll have one for the streamers, one for the fans. That's all I need. All right, there it is. Got all our cable connections in here for the front panel, as well as the rest of the case, our EPS cables, and our AIO pump connections here for, you know, where it's going to be tucked in under the radiator. So now we're ready to put an AIO in, shall we? All right, where's that big one? Don't forget the bracket. Don't forget the bracket. That is the only problem with these Arctic fans, is the blades like to drop lower than the fan itself, therefore scraping on the frickin' radiator. I have to put some sort of padding in there. I don't know why I trust Arctic. That works. Everything else works for them. It's just, for some reason, when you put the fans on top of radiators, they're not perfect. So I need some sort of pad, which I have. Fix for this is going to be some little rubber pads for the corners of the fans. It'll raise it up high enough so that they provide clearance. Watch, we go through all this and it doesn't even fit in the case. Wouldn't that be funny, guys? Should I be worried if my GPU is at 99% playing Froza with the highest possible settings? No, 99% is what you want. You want your GPU usage to be as high as possible and your CPU usage to be as low as possible. That just means your GPU is not waiting on your CPU for frames. All right. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1.5 step forward. Game of chess. Why is that such a... Okay, so there's the top fans. Yay! Finally got them. Now we need an RGB extension. Why did that have to happen? Now I see why. But okay, we should... Rolling with the punches, guys. Rolling with the punches. We're just rolling with the punches. Is overclocking a good idea? No, overclocking is not a good idea unless you know what you're doing. Or you're interested in having, or interested in introducing a ton of issues to your PC. Then sure, overclocking is a good idea. But if you're not interested in having stability issues and not knowing what to do and not really having anybody to call and then having to pay that person, either in beer or in good friendship maybe, or just straight up money, then it is not a good idea to overclock. And so, with some of today's hardware, it's actually pointless to overclock. Some of it's so strong, it doesn't really make that big of a difference anymore. Unless you're trying to, like, break records. That's really the only reason why I see overclocking as beneficial. Alright. There we go. Got all of that done. Now we just got to get our Lian Li fans here. Millimeter fans are going in here on the top of this AIO. We're getting there. We're making progress. Can the RTX 4070 do ray tracing? Yes. Any RTX card has the ability to ray trace. That's what the R stands for, is ray tracing. At least what I've always said. But yes, it can ray trace. Ow. This is where fingerprints start to become an issue when you peel the peels off the mirror finishes. Shit. Damn it. And the other problem is when the peel doesn't peel when it's supposed to peel. Damn you, peel. AMD Radeon has FSR. Yes, AMD FSR is great frame generation. What is it again? What? What is it? What? Okay. 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 Here we go. Here we go. Wait a second. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That would have been interesting. Fans blowing at each other into the radiator. Would have been an interesting result. Yeah, I don't know why it's overheating. Not because I built it. That's for damn sure. We are. One beautiful radiator fan sandwich. Look at that. Stack of fans and radiators. Nothing's bumping anything. There's enough gap for the Arctic fans to be happy for life. Hold up. Don't want that grinding out anywhere. Nasty. Now, we gotta somehow tuck all of our cables in here. They don't get stuck. They are right now. Contact, yeah. Yes. Of course. Yes. Why wouldn't there be? What would be stable? What do you mean? What was that? Would the ray tracing be stable on an RTX 47? Yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't be stable. I mean, it's ray tracing card. I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe if you want to rephrase the question. Alright, I'm being smart and I'm routing the cable for the rear fan. Pre-routing it. So I have to deal with that. But I got the radiator installed. I'm being smart, guys. I'm 2 steps ahead of this sumbitch. Alright, what is the deal with my each step here? Why are they still in my way? Oh, shit. Well, guys, after all that fun work, find out radiator's too thick. I'll show you. We're not fully mounted. We're not fully mounted because, well, that's nice. Well, the motherboard, not just the EPS. I thought it was the EPS cables just in the way there. Look underneath, and we're hitting the top of the motherboard. Nice. So, what does that mean? Well, we removed all the work we just did by removing the top, and we are not doing push-pull on this. There's just no way it's going to fit. Unless we have thin fans, and I don't have any thin fans that are 140 laying around. And even then, it's kind of retarded to put the thin fans in there because they're most likely going to wear out way faster than these Lian Li fans, and they'll just be an annoyance. So, yeah. I feel like I've done this before on an Evo XL, and I've ran into the same problem. But as you can see, push-pull with the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 420 in a Evo XL does not fit at the top. The only other option would be to go side mount, and I really don't want to do that. Really don't. Somebody open and drink a beer for me. Please. Ugh. For the love of it. All that's holy. Everything we did. Cram these in there. Cram them out. Nice. fun tonight, guys. We're having fun tonight. We're figuring it out. Put that back up there. Remove these damn trucks. Thing was like this. I bet I'd probably take this back apart. Put that on block. Get rid of these. I don't care. Get him out of my face. Be gone with them. Okay. So no push pull. We're just going straight regular AIO radiator. Should have done this in the first freaking place. I had a feeling. Like, I remember the last one I did. Gosh. I think it was like in January in the Evo XL. And we had a similar issue. I think it was with the same cooler. Or it was a Lian Li cooler. I don't remember. It was too long ago. I feel like I've built so many PCs since then, I can't remember a damn thing. Gonna try to center this up. Okay. One of many screws. Next thing you know, we're gonna put this in here and the washers are gonna be pushing the screws up too high and we can't put the top panel on, and that'll be the next hurdle we have to fight. And then I'll throw the radiator across the yard and call it a night. And quit PC building from life. Right? You think that'll happen? I'm speculating. I am known to do that. When I get frustrated enough with something, throw it across the yard. What happened when my weed whacker stopped working the other day? I think it's still out there in the middle of the yard. But that thing gave me grief for years, and I finally had enough. Go ahead and sit out there and think about it. We'll just deal with it when we get in there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, round 2. Then be smarter than the AIO. Place your bets. Oh my gosh, it fits. Went in beautifully. Like it was meant to be this way. Hey William, what's up? I saw a video about testing an industrial cooler to cool the i9-3900. If it did not, or it did no better at cooling than a regular regular 360 millimeter AIO. The main problem they figured was in the conductivity of heat into the cooling system. There is a bottleneck in the thermal paste or metal's conductivity. I could agree with that. Did they remove the cap on the CPU, or did they leave it capped? I think that's maybe one way to help that. Maybe. Just an idea. Take the lid off. Delit it. Deal with that later. Right now, we're pasting a CPU and slapping a block on it. And moving on to the next step. We're 2 hours into this build, and it doesn't feel like it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Now I can't even open up our Cryonaut Extreme package. Probably a little too much, but it ain't gonna go anywhere. Put the contact frame there. Well, that's good. That's actually good information. I actually didn't know that, William. I didn't know they tested it with a industrial cooler. Pretty cool. I'd be curious to see that test. Holy smokes. It's getting late. Bad boy plugged in. That. Not as excited. Till after. Or make it extra spread. Get one side to bite. Switch it over. fight the other side. I think you have it. We'll find out you don't. It is a very tight fit. It does take some oomph to get this bastard on there. But once it's on, pretty easy. Connection. This was a really nifty investment. Sharp though. You could very easily cut a wire. But they cut like butter. Cut like they're cutting butter. Nice. Looks good. All cleaned up here once we stood back up and we pull some cables back through. Get this rear fan installed, get the 3 reverse blades on. Get the graphics card mounted, the power supply installed. Holy smokes, there's a lot of work left. Do we think about splitting this up into 2 days because it's already 11:30 and I've already been streaming for 2 hours? Hell no, we're finishing that. Alright. Let's start with the bottom fans, then we'll work our way to the side fans here. A little bit of sagging there, so we fix that. Alright, move the bracket, get our fans out. More Leon Lee. Linus Tech Tips did the testing. I found the test. The name of the video is The God of Computer Coolers 500 Watt Industrial Chiller. Oh, I've seen that one. They actually put it inside the industrial chiller, right? It was inside, and they had a big problem with condensation. I think that's the video you're talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong. It cost them a whole bunch of money to have that, or to rent it, whatever they did. Yeah, I think I've seen that one. For sure. Here's our Leon Lee Infinity Reverse Blade. We want these bad boys installed in such the way, cables in the back, and blades are facing up. Seems kind of backwards, but it's not. I'm going to try to center these up. Center them up as good as I can. This cooler might kill your CPU, EK Direct Die Cooler. Yeah, I've heard there's lots of issues with EK lately. I haven't done an EK build in a while. I haven't used that Direct Die Cooler, at least. I've never used that. I have a couple of customers with EK products out there that I am currently working on issues with. For example, one of them has a cracked GPU block, EK block, for RTX 3090. Back when I did an open loop for a customer. For the EK, I had a partnership with EK. And, well, now we have a cracked EK block. And EK, of course, isn't doing shit about it. They don't want to do anything about it. It was a $500 at the time when we bought it. It was all brand new, and it was like the shit. So it was super expensive. It was like a $500 block, if I remember correctly, like $480 or something like that. Something insane for a block. And there's a crack in it. It just developed. There's multiple cracks in it, actually, that developed. So now we have a $500 paperweight, and EK doesn't want to do anything about it. You know, My opinion on EK is meh. Right now, I haven't sold any of their products since I had that issue recently, and I probably won't until they fix it. Because if I have that problem again in the future, it's gonna suck. That keeps coming up. Because I don't want to help resolve the issue. Like a partner. Good. Hey, what's up, Maju? Whoop. Did it ever work? If it did it cool the i9 3900 properly? I don't know. Wait, I've never used the hold on. I've never used the direct die, William, over on YouTube. How's the build going? Well, this is where we're at, Machu. We are... I gotta close the back door. This is where we're at. We still need to mount the intake fans on the side. We still need to mount the rear fan here, the vertical RTX 4090 graphics card. We still need to put a power supply, and then we have streamers for the power supply cables that are going in. But we're close. It's probably going to be another hour, unfortunately. Not good. Looks tight. Yeah, this is actually an XL case, so if you mean by tight, like space-wise tight, it's not. But if you mean like it's sick, like in good health, it's awesome looking, then yes, 100%. It's the XL case, so it's got a lot of space. All right, let's get the side fans. So, more fans. More fans. Hey, Alex, what's up? I just got a low video memory notification on my PC. What does that mean? That might mean that you are capping out on your VRAM, I would say. On your video card. So you're pushing it to the point where it needs more VRAM. Tight in a good way. I know. I'm just messing with you. Somebody's got to. Are you playing PUBG? And how are the games? Anybody else join up? You don't miss me that much, do you? Morphins. you mean by Morphins? But I've never used the DirectX, so I couldn't answer the question. But did it ever work? If it did it cool the i9 3900? I don't know. Evening, Ben. Hey, what's up? You know me as Seth. Hey, what's up, Seth? Just wanted to pop in and say I've been looking, or been loving all the white rig that you built for me. Awesome. Thanks for stopping in and sharing. More fans. Oh, more fans. Makes sense now. All coming back to me. More fans. We are adding more fans, yes. Machu was playing with Steven, Rod, and Hacky. Oh, nice. All right, man. We'll see you later, Machu. Have a good night, sir. Machu is from the PUBG group. He's over on Twitch. He popped in over on Twitch. He's from our PUBG, regular OG PUBG players. We play PUBG every now and then when I have time. He's probably looking for me to come play. So they're either desperate for a third, because they'd have to carry me, or he's just stopping in because he's cool. More fans, more fans, more fans, more fans. Should I be concerned about the VRAM thing? I guess if it's impacting the performance. I don't know if there's a way to fix that outside of getting a bigger GPU or lowering your graphic settings. Damn it. Trying really hard not to touch the shiny. And I just touched the shiny. Nice. Don't touch the shiny. Do you live stream while gaming? No, I don't actually. Not normally. I've actually brought it up a couple times. It's just, for me, I like to enjoy my games with my friends and things and people. So it's more of a thing, like it's a distraction while I'm streaming. So I just want to enjoy, sit back, relax. I want to keep gaming instead of a job. Don't want to think of it like a job. I respect the games, although I probably could start streaming. It's just want to keep it the hobby, the fun. But I could. I brought it up a couple times. People were, interested in. I was actually not doing like streaming just to stream the games, but more so like community games and things like that. So I get time to play with people that hang around and want to play, or customers that want to play and have a good time. I'm all about that. That I would do 100%. but just note, you'll probably be carrying me in most games. The UK version of Morphins. Morphins, my sir. My good sir, we need Morphins. Yeah, I gotta maintain the intimacy. Exactly. I don't want it to become numb. It's one of the few things I can enjoy that doesn't cost me $1 million, right? And I can be home and still be around the kids if I'm there, you know, after they all go to bed, etc. I don't have to drive somewhere to be somewhere to do something. I can just hop on and bam. Social interaction. It's easy. Just get an hour or two in. Satisfying. But no, I've thought about doing like community stream game stream days where we do a few hours with a few different games, if people were interested. And there wasn't too much interest, like, or at the time anyway. It was like right when summer was starting when I proposed the idea, and I think people were just busy around that time. So maybe in the winter we'll kick it up again, but during the winter, for me, builds get crazy, especially if we get closer to Christmas and the holidays. It's really crazy. So, like, I don't know what to do. Always at a loss there. There was one game that I did stream a little bit of, and it was Beyond All Reason. That was fun. And I was actually more so commenting on other players' games. It was more of like a spectator thing. It was fun. Where do I put this thing? I'm just gonna like put it somewhere. Just put it somewhere. All fans, good sir, more fans. Good sir, we need more fans. This is going to be on the backside. You won't see any of this crap, but get the general idea how this is going. This thing's oh jeez. All right, so now we just have this rear fan that we have to install here. More fans, good sir, more fans. So, one more fan. Yeah, it's turning out pretty dope looking. Excited to get this one finished. I know the local customer over here has been extremely patient with me, as we were delayed a couple of days. A few days now, actually. But there's nothing wrong with the build. It was just my schedule just kept getting screwed by Intel and AMD problems. Intel and AMD. What an interesting debacle it's been. I'm going to go ahead and plug these in for the hub real quick, actually, before I forget. They'll be down there, and it will be a pain in the butt. Once I have the graphics card in, that is. It reminds me I need to get the Strimmer USB cable out too. Dear Strimmer, where art thou, Strimmer? Actually, this needs to go up here because fans are running on the AIO. I need to throw it up here. Come on. Had to think about that for a second. Throw it up top. I don't know if it's find out. I can't believe it reached. And it'll just have to go where the hub goes. Hub will have to go where the hub goes. I think we do have one more. We'll do that. One. Hopefully we have a splitter or something going on for this addressable RGB shit down here. I think that's what I might have to do. I have splitters. At least I hope I do. Okay. Again, I'm going to go back there once we get it standing back up again, and we will get those cables pulled back through so they're nice and clean. What I want to do here, get this 120 millimeter rear fan installed. Try to get it as low as possible. Clearance there. That way also we're not fighting the AIO for gonna help draw the air this way. What do y'all think? Looking good? Starting to look like a gaming PC, I'd say, right? Are getting there. All right, so let's tackle the strimmers real quick. Because I know there's a USB hub in here, and I don't want to deal with that after I put the graphics card in. Dear God, I don't want to deal with that after. That would suck. Swinger. We're definitely going to be using the L-Connect, but he doesn't want to use the L-Connect and he uses the Armory Crate. Tries to sync it. Ain't that cable plugged in? Addressable RGB header or splitter. I don't know if this case has one. I'm going to check. Oh, let's flip it over. Let's find out. I feel like it has something. Well, that sucks. We need to go get a splitter. Hold on. Is 50 latency high? No, that's middle of the road. High would be like pushing closer to 100. All right, I need to order more of these. I have, I think, one more pack left. There, I have one more there. Plus one more pack. Need to order more. You guys have no idea how many times these ARGB splitters have come in handy. Handy. They are handy little bastards. forgot I need one more of those things. Also, do you think 90 to 70 FPS on extreme settings with ray tracing and DLAA is good for FPS for my build? But what title and what screen resolution? I think you said 1080p. I know it's 1080p on the 24-inch, but I don't know what title it is, what game. Because that will make a difference. Each game will perform differently. Cyberpunk versus Fortnite, for example. Big difference in performance on high setting. Getting heavy. Real heavy. Okay. That's that. I have all those cables plugged in. I'm happy with that. Now I know I can plug my streamers in without having an issue with the graphics card being in the way. So talking about that, we can go ahead and drop our 24-pin streamer in. Throws a 5. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good for an RTX 4060. It's really limited there by the 4060, I think. Stream, right? So also depends on your screen time. What's bottleneck here? Okay. So, we're gonna get we have a vertical bracket for this. If I remember correctly, this was in the butt. Because of the design. But we made it work last time, and we'll make it work this time. I'm going to stand it up to do the vertical install, I think. Unvertical. Get this installed. I'll do that. Lay it back down. Decided to change my mind. Oh. Something in the piece of ice that. There's debris. I don't know how debris got in there, but it did. It was like a piece of cardboard that, like a little flake of cardboard that somehow got in the piece spot that I caught. Glad I caught that. I just blew it out. No idea where that. Saw it fly in the air and then it kind of just vanished. Glad I looked. I gotta drill these out. Won't go down unless those are popped out. Be right back. I gotta drill these out. All right, we're back.
Hey, Tat, what's up?
Look at you with your dual camera setup. Fancy, fancy. What's good and powered, fam? Hope all is well. Oh, you know, we're just drilling holes in computer components. That's what we do. Things that are supposed to be universal and fit everything doesn't fit. I always forget that. This vertical bracket does not like to fit in the XL case because the XL case has a unique piece of metal that sticks out. Holy shit, I got it to fit. I got it to fit. I had to drill some holes, you know, that's all. Had to do it. Couldn't resist spinning them. Okay, so now that we've got that installed beautifully, right? Now, stand the bad boy up. Yeah, looking pretty good. Then let's get our last trimmer in. Then all we got to do is some cable management and plug a power supply in. You know why it fit? Because you, sir, are the greatest technician that ever... Don't even. I know that guy. That is not what I say. Usually you catch me saying, stupid, 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 stupid. Not the greatest technician that ever lived. I drill holes because I want to make it fit. Because a piece of metal is not going to stop me from putting that in there. And it shouldn't stop you. All right, where do I want to go with this? Come on. Holy shit. Oh. Not want to square up for me. But one bit. I think we're going to need more fans. So y'all can see. What do y'all think? Looking like a awesome gaming PC or what? Minus the fingerprints. On a side note, me and my cat are jamming out to your elevator music. Hey, this ain't elevator music. You got it to work. Barely got it to work. Oh, we got to pull some of these through. That's really it. Power supply. Cable management on the backside. We're pretty much done. Power supply. Come to daddy. Another Seasonic Vertex 1200 watt 80 plus gold PCIe 5.0 ATX 3.0. Beautiful power supply with, I think it's like a 10-year warranty. Can't go wrong. Damn thing is gonna be a hovercraft when you hit the power button. Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, we have reverse blades, so it should force it down, right? Reversing the blades should force it down. Yeah, like William said earlier in the chat. Morphins, good za. We need morphins, good za. More fans, morphins, morphins. Morphins, good za. We need morphins. By the way, this was the build I was supposed to be building on Monday. You can thank AMD and You can thank Intel. I'd like to say thank you to Asus as well. And what else was there? There was another one. Oh, ConnectWise. ConnectWise, I want to say a special thank you to ConnectWise for really wasting a shit ton of my time this week. Man. ConnectWise was the winner. Runner-up, Intel, and last, AMD. But specifically, I grabbed the Vertex because it is a shorter power supply. Even though this is a larger case, even though this case is larger, you can't fit one of the larger power supplies in your pouch. What I mean by that, well, the length of the power supply is limited because you have brackets in here, unless you want to remove the brackets, and then you get rid of some of your cable management. But why do that when you can just buy a power supply that fits right in the case? So, aka the Vertex is the go-to stubby power supply that solves that problem. Ugh. Still can't stop thinking about those gold those gold cable extensions. Gold leader. Gold leader. You have cable extensions in the head. Gold leader. And they won't leave. They live rent-free. Isn't that one of those boomer terms? Do y'all ever get companies to send you stuff to review? Actually, I have Corsair sending stuff possibly very soon. Some stuff that hasn't even hit the eyes of the world yet. So, I don't know if they're going to let me do videos, but they want feedback. And my rep over at Corsair said he was going to send me some stuff. I was like, sure, I'll test it out. He says that he thinks I would give the most honest opinion about it. And I'm like, yeah, I would. I shall do justice for all. I will not hold back. I will not be bought or persuaded. Get it right the first time. Okay. Hub time. You're saying $5 for private stream. Bruh, it's only $1. Private streams are only $1. Do, 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 do. Nope. Yep. Almost there. So hard to do because there's so many cables. I don't know what to do here. Put all this crap in there. Call it a day. Put all that crap in there. Call it a day. Alright, I gotta think about this. I want the bottom fans to be first for one. And I want side fans 2. Top fans to be number 3. And the rear fans number 4. How do I know which is which? Well, that's for a long time. Don't really want to. Pulls easier to get back out. Damn it. Hate myself. If something needs to be fixed. So I think I'm going to come back and do some more cable management later after I verify this thing fires up. There's just too many cables here. I'm going to do a little bit of document stuff in this one. Going back at it. There. Not too shabby. I want to say I called the Captain American GPU build. Yeah. I built almost the same exact PC. This is the 11 Dynamic Evo XL, which is a larger case. These are 140 millimeter fans, not 120. But yes, CPU is the same, GPU is the same, power supply is the same. SSDs are actually different. 2 terabyte 990 Pro Samsungs versus the Team Groups that I had in the other one, the MP44s. And no 8 terabyte hard drive in this one. And the GPU is vertical. And we couldn't do push-pull on this because the AIO, which is the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3, is too thick. So, almost the same build. Just all those differences. Yes. It's magnificent. All right. Last but not least, you can fire this bad boy up. See if it even posts. If it doesn't post, I'm going to bed. That's for damn sure. I work on are just getting heavier and heavier. All right. Where's that side view at? Hit me. All right, Tat, I think you're the only one here right now. Unless there's other people just not chatting. You want to do the honors and tell me to punch it? Gonna need a back bracket after lift. Yeah, back, yeah. Pretty much. Well, you should have seen the one I was working on the other day. It was my Phoenix build. I don't know if you remember, I did a custom red Corsair 7000D Airflow custom paint job build, where it was a Phoenix on the back and it was red and black. It was super dope, tricked out with an RTX 4090 in it. Well, he had an Intel 13900K for that build, and we ended up moving him over to AMD because he was running into just nothing but issues. Fire it up, Buttercup. Hit me. Yeah, you seen it was huge. Yeah, it was huge. That thing has to weigh at least 85 pounds. That thing is heavy. No joke. 85 pounds. Damn, this thing looks beautiful. Like here, let me try to get the brightness down so you could better see the RGB. The RGB. Let me play with the brightness real quick. What do you mean you don't think you've ever seen a motherboard with RGB? This one has it. So was the other one on Thursday. Same board, actually. Same motherboard. You've seen it. Lies. Well, we have a post, so that's a good sign. But, you know, lower the exposure down. Camera can stop freaking out and try to, like, expose the light and adjust. And manually, and then you get this nice little flow. Pretty cool, because you can see the fans flowing, too. Pretty dope. Get a little RGB strip here on the front as well. Nice accent. Yeah, this is a badass PC. Now let's just hope we don't have the same problem as we did with the other 7950X X3D processor, which screwed me bigly. But yeah, this build took three and a half hours, and I'm still not done with the cable management on the backside. I'm still gonna go back and do that now that I know everything's fired up and running. Oh yeah, you guys like my, I call it the Fury cut. You didn't see it last time. Yeah, a lot of motherboards don't have a crazy ton of RGB on it. Like during the 300 series, the higher end boards had RGB along the side of the 24 pin on the front, like facing away. They had a lot of that. And then during the 400 series, it was kind of popular to have RGB down at the south bridge, down at the bottom of the board there, or is that the north bridge? Either way, around the little heatsink down at the bottom portion of the board, and some with the RGB at the top. And now it's kind of just weird, not everywhere, which I'm okay with. I like the little accent back there, and you know, I wish Asus would have added some RGB for when you go vertical with this card, because the only RGB is around the side on the top here, and then there's RGB on the back side as well, I think. Actually, I take that back, there's none. So adding some RGB into the fans would have been kind of a cool feature, even if it's just like an accent glow over the top. Would have been really cool, with like, it would just shine off of the shiny portions of the card. Is there a sag bracket? No, there's no sag bracket. But I do need to move those, get those out of there. The card is on a universal, it's a Cooler Master universal GPU vertical bracket. It's the V3. It's supposed to be able to hold the weight of the RTX 4090. But if we do see sagging, I will get a support bracket for it. No, there's no mirror finish on the fans. It's just the accent around the rings. Like the ring portion of the fan has mirror finish, and it would be cool to have some RGB kind of reflecting off that from the card. So it's just the logo that's mirrored on the center of the fan, the ROG eyeball. For the motherboard where the RGB is, oh yeah, there's RGB up there. That's RGB. That's not just reflecting. There's actual RGB there. So if I block it with my hand, you can see there's actual light there. It's not just reflecting from the fan itself. But she's a beast, that's for sure. Oh, on my camera, just let's keep crawling that way. Asshole. Stay there. Don't make me screw you down and clamp. Right, I thought it was reflecting. That's why I didn't see it the last time. Yeah, it's possible. I probably didn't have the exposure this low either last time. I should have turned it down because the exposure just gives it a huge difference. Maybe rotate it like that so you can see. Definitely tired. It's almost 1 o'clock. 3 hours and 30 minutes. I started around, what was it, 9? Just after 9. Yeah, it was a long stream for one build. But she turned out pretty nice looking. Right now we're running at 41 Celsius on the CPU at idle. That's without any fan curve or anything. So all the fans are reporting in just like they should. Nice. Yeah. SSDs are there. Both sticks of RAM are there. Everything's good. Good. Looks great though. Really like the fan design. Yeah, I do too. These are the reversed fans, 140s. So they're 140 millimeters all through. All three of these, or all six, and the top ones. 420 millimeter AIO. It's a beast. Definitely a beast. So, looking forward to getting him this build. He's been waiting patiently for it, and I'm super excited to finally finish it, hopefully tomorrow, and have it ready for him to pick up so he has it for the weekend. That was like my number one goal this week was to like have this build done for him. I have to get that build done. And then I do have another build, but I might do it off stream here. Hey, what's up, World? World Star? How's it going? Over on the Twitch. Welcome to the build show. We're actually just wrapping up. But I have an ITX build I am supposed to do, but this build took an extremely long time. We're about 3.5 hours in. Going well, I figured. LOL. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Wonder why more GPUs don't have RGB on fans for people who vertical mount it. Yeah, I don't know. Good question. Tat over at YouTube had the question. But yeah, I don't... I know Gigabyte has a couple of cards with some RGB, but it's weird. Like, they only light up when the fans are spinning. So if the fans aren't spinning, there's no RGB, which just looks weird. But if the fans are spinning, then you have RGB, and it's like, it's really trippy because the lights are like blinking the whole time while they're spinning. It's weird. I wish they just give solid RGB. It'd be cool. The only fan, or the only graphics card company that I know that does RGB, the two, did I say, Power Color, Hellhound, that card has blue, non-adjustable colored fans. So they're not RGB, they're just blue. And then the other one is the, gosh, what are they? Not the Max Sun. Shoot. What is the name of it? I'm drawing a blank on the name all of a sudden. It's one of those Asian brands that are over here at the States. Is it just you who builds PCs? Over here? Yes, it's just me that builds PCs right now. So, if you are ordering a PC, I am building it, and I'll probably be building it here. Unless it's crazy busy. Sometimes I can't get all the builds on the stream. I know that Galax is the name of the brand for the graphics card with RGB fans. And you can control them. And they are addressable, fully addressable RGB. Cool, I'm about to order one. Oh, nice. Awesome. Well, if you're ordering one, I'll be building it. Most likely here. Right now it's pretty busy. It's been crazy busy, so most builds right now, our turnaround time is about anywhere from 6 to 9 days, about our estimated time frame right now. We got delayed because we had a whole bunch of issues with Intel CPUs, and then we had a whole bunch of issues, or 1 or 2 issues with AMD this past week. So it kind of delayed us a little bit as we were working out issues with customer builds that are already out there. And those aren't our issues. They're mostly Intel problems. And I think there's going to be more problems coming down the road with them. And there's nothing we can really do about it other than advise everybody to update their BIOS and try to help everybody that we can make sure we get the BIOS updated. So that's only with the 14900K or the 13900K processors, just those two. The rest of them should be fine. Right. Well, I was just wrapping up here. It is almost 1 o'clock over here in the morning. So I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to finish this one on the bench and get it battle tested, or start the battle testing. That way tomorrow we can have it ready to go for him. Yeah, I'm glad I stayed with the 12900K. I am too. I'm glad you stayed with it, because weird issues, man. Weird issues. And it's kind of a weird situation for me. So I'm doing what I can. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you at some Giant Idiot World. Thanks for stopping in. And Tat, you have a good night, sir. Everybody else, have a good night. Looking forward to finally putting this order where it belongs. At its battle station. Good nights, friends. Have a great weekend. Good call. Good call. I should actually have some build streams coming up here, possibly on the weekend, but it most likely won't be until Monday. So, have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.